Hello, Avalon. Great question. Let's have a look at it here. Let me get a pen fired up. What we're going to do, because when I look at this, I can't take the square root of 48 and get, a nice whole number. I certainly can't take the square root of 2. So what we're going to do, we're going to rethink about this. We're going to use the quotient rule, and I'm going to rewrite this basically as the square root of 48x to the 8th over 2x. So I'm just going to take the square root of this whole mess as a fraction. And that allows me to reduce 48 by 2, that's 24. And then I can do some exponent rules here. That gives me x to the 7. And that's still underneath the square root symbol. Okay, so I can reduce this a little bit. It cuts down on this fractiony stuff. Let's take it a few more steps now. I'm going to pull out the biggest perfect square I can get out of 24, and that is going to be 4. Okay, so if I think about this, that's going to be 4 times, now x to the 6th is my biggest perfect square, so I'm going to pull that out as well. That's going to give me 6x left over. Okay, now there's no other number I can kind of pull out of that. That's pretty much it, 4 and 6. Interesting to note, whenever we have a square root, like the index up here, this number is really a 2. We never write that down. What this does, the effect that this has on higher order exponents like this, is it effectively cuts them in half. And I'll geek out on that in a second. But basically, we can take the square root of 4, which is 2. The square root of x to the 6th is x to the 3rd, half of 6. And then we just express it as root 6x. Okay, so that's how we can take this down. Let me change my pad here. So when we're talking x to the 7th, here's the geekery. What I can do is I can pull out a bunch of x squareds. X squared times x squared times x squared times x. And again, 2 plus 2 plus 2 is 6 plus 1 gives us 7 using the exponent rules. If I were to take the square root of all of these, I would get x, 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 and then root x. I couldn't take the square root of this guy. So effectively, x times x times x gives me x cubed root x. Okay, so that's where that comes from. Another shortcut way, what I did here was I just pulled out the 6 because 6 plus 1 gives me 7 using the reverse of the exponent rules, and then effectively a square root would cut that in half. So that's how I got my x cubed right there. Okay, I hope that helps, but give it a shot and let me know. Take care.